this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience as a new caregiver. If you are a caregiver, if you are a new caregiver, or if you are about to become a caregiver to an aging parent. So pay attention. Welcome back to my video, and this video is something I've been wanting to do for a while because I have just become a caretaker to an aging parent, and it is my mother-in-law. So a lot of times we think that sometimes just the whole idea of becoming a caregiver to an aging parent, when you become a caretaker to an aging parent, it is personal. It's a personal decision between you and your family, especially the ones who will be taking care of them. Everybody else's opinion, it doesn't matter. So what it's been like for us, for me being a caregiver, is it's been a very different experience. I didn't expect it. I don't know. I just sort of felt it was the right thing to do. My husband is the only person left. His sister passed away years ago. His father passed away years ago. He was the only sibling left. So I just felt it was the right thing to do. It was just to bring her home with us and figure out how we're going to work through that. We live in a condo. She lived in a home. So we had to make a few adjustments in the beginning. We had to, I had to convert my office into her bedroom. I had to convert my bathroom into a bathroom that would be conducive for a senior, for example. Making sure that we had a toilet lifter, making sure that we had the railings around the toilet lifter so she can easily get up, making sure that she had the making sure that she had the stool, making sure that she had the chair for the shower. So there were several things that we had to do just to prepare ourselves for her living with us. And of course, there are some things I really didn't want to do, but to make her comfortable as much as possible was our objective. And I knew I knew if she was comfortable, we would also be comfortable. So you want to make sure that the transition for you and for them is as smooth as possible. And one of the ways we did that was by letting her know. First of all, we didn't really let anyone else know because so we didn't want other people in our business, and we didn't want family or friends who had nothing to do with moving her to try to talk her out of the move because she was coming from her house into our condo. So that would have been an adjustment period for her. And also just getting into a new space and moving out of her house because once they get past a certain age, whether they're a baby boomer or they just don't like to move. They prefer to live in their house as long as they can. And sometimes you'll hear them say, I want to die in my house. So to make it a smooth transition, we told her that we would keep her house, and every couple weeks, typically like every 3 weeks, we would come back and check on the house and visit the house. So just knowing that her house was still there, it helped her mentally make the adjustment, but it also helped us to make the adjustment as well. And we explained to her we weren't able to come out there and live with her, that we both had our jobs, and I had clients in the city that were close to us, so we couldn't move there where she lived. We had to bring her to where we were. So that was one thing that we did that helped to make the adjustment a lot smoother. We wanted her to stay connected to her family and her friends, and a lot of them were out of state. Her friends called her all the time, so she always had that network. So we took her landline, forward the calls to her cell phone, and that way everyone that calls her, sometimes she gets like 4 or 5 calls a day, so we transferred those calls to her cell phone. So you're probably wondering what happened with the house. So the house is still there. We still haven't sold the house yet. It hasn't been that long that she's been living with us, but over a period of time, we started to notice that she was entering dementia, but we weren't exactly sure what stage yet. And we noticed that any change that disrupts her and can cause her stress can push her more into dementia. So I was expecting her to fight us on the whole idea, but she didn't fight us at all. She actually said that She knew she couldn't stay by herself any longer. She knew that one day it would come to that decision, and that, you know, if we felt that was the best thing to do, she would be willing to come, and how she would be submissive, and she wouldn't fight us. And she, you know, she's glad we wanted her, because a lot of times children don't want their parents. So she's just really excited that we wanted her. And she said, I will make it easy for you. I'm not going to make things hard for you. I'll be submissive. And I just thought that was really sweet of her to say, because it showed me that she recognized that everyone in the household plays a role in order for the household to function in a very um, peaceful way. So I was really glad about that. And so that's how that transition went. And yes, she still holds true to that. She does submit to my household. So what I've learned from all of this is that um, you can make it easy for them if you are getting ready to become a caregiver, if you are a caregiver, because it can be very stressful for you. The easier it is for them, the easier it is for you in making that transition, because it's a transition, it's a new way of life for them, for you. They're a grown adult now. They have to come under your rules. They're coming into your house. Now, if you're going into their house, that's a slightly different thing. I can't speak on that. I'm only speaking to you, if your parents, if you have moved your parents in with you. So in our next video, I will dive more into that subject, because right now I am a caregiver and of an aging parent, and I am looking forward to sharing my experience with you, what I've been going through, how this has been affecting my family, me and my husband, and, you know, basically how we've been coping, and how you can as well as a caregiver of adult parents. So you're not in this alone. So there's always someone who's going through this with you. Until our next time together, stay beautiful and healthy.